hello everyone. Welcome to another one of our Survive and Thrive campaigns. Today I have Ben Dobson, who's been a client of ours for the last 10 years with his wife Cass. Ben's got a really interesting story about diversity because last year he was pretty much challenged and he's gone through some challenging times, and you know what? There's a lot of people can learn from this interview I'm about to do. So hello, Ben. Introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your journey in the last 12, 18 months.
Yeah, g'day. Hello, everybody. My name is Ben Dobson. I am formerly the director of IT company called Tlogic, IT and communications company, and had been up until 12 months ago a fairly substantial Telstra partner. Me and my beautiful wife Cassandra have had the business for 10 years now. It started from me walking around Port Melbourne knocking doors on my own to some 8 or 9 years later we had 20 staff. We looked after some substantial accounts across Australia. We're really proud of what we've done. So it's been an interesting journey. It's interesting running the business with your wife as well, and we've certainly had some growing pains along the way, but I actually said to her only yesterday, it's amazing 10 years later, we've never been better working together either. So I think everything is about evolution as you go through that project. But yeah, my last 12 months, which you know very well, Colin, you've been on the journey with me as well, have been interesting. Obviously, there's no more interesting than what we're going through right now with the virus. But we started to make that transition. We made the call, and it was right towards the end of May. We were going for a 1st of June transition from being a Telstra partner to being an Optus partner. Through that period, Optus is still a corporate business and has corporate hierarchy, and they had a change of management through that process, and some agreed funding that we had in place was unfortunately disappeared 4 days before we were to arrive with this new management that arrived. So it was really challenging to suddenly have the rug pulled out 4 days. There's no way we could go back. We could only go forward. And a colleague of mine that I was going through the process with said to me, Benny, what can you do apart from trade your way out of it? I was in fact in a partnership with this gentleman in joining forces with Optus, and he had some other skills outside of the Optus branch as well. So he said, let's trade our way out of it. Terrific. No worries. Pick yourself up off the mat and go. So that's what we did. We traded our way out of it from June and July. The reason we had headcount funding was we lost a fortune through that period, that 60-day period. We started to come good because everything we do is pipeline based, is who you're talking to based. You're not going to come out and make a whole lot of sales in the first 15 or 30 days. That started to come good through August and September, October, and we bridged that gap, which was really pleasing. Only to have at the start of November, the person we had gone in business with, for whatever reasons, in conjunction with Optus, got the rug pulled out from him. And Optus said thanks, but no thanks after 15 years of association with him. That had a net effect to us because in being in partnership with him, they paused any payments to him. We're still waiting today for somewhere in the order of around $100,000 to be paid for us whilst Optus and him go back and forth in finding a suitable outcome for both parties. So in the period of a 6 to 8 month period, we'd had $250,000 that was our money suddenly disappear. And whether you're a small business, a medium-sized business, nobody likes to have $250,000 pulled out of their pockets. To us, being a small business, most businesses at that point probably would have turned around and folded. And I remember talking to you, mate, in December, and you said something to me that stuck. You said, Benny, me and you are hustlers, mate. Just keep hustling. You'll find a way through it. You'll work it out. I was in my backyard at the time. I had my 2 kids around me, and it was really enlightening just to hear that, mate. And fortunately, just at around the same time, the largest partner in Australia, a guy named Drew Kennedy from Optus Business Centre outer east, based out in Blackburn, had reached out to me and said, Benny, I've heard about what's happened. I'm here to support you, mate. We've known each other for 20 years. And Optus actually came to me and said, we really still want you. The partner that we've had to disappear has nothing to do with you. we'd like you to align with Drew just for a short period whilst we get our direct relationship going. Well, in December, I had some serious cash flow issues. Hence why I was talking to you, mate. And I thought to myself, well, how am I going to make my way through this? I'd met Drew. I was trading under Drew as a partner, but he had a whole lot of assets that I really liked. He had a finance manager, had an operations manager. He had this terrific IT arm as well, or IT and ICT. And under that, he has telephone lines. He has all networks. Due to me now introducing myself to him, he's now got print added to that and managed IT as well. And I approached Drew in December and I said, there's some things about your business I love, mate. You're obviously far more stable than me. Would you be interested in potentially buying part of my business? He said, it's Christmas time. I can tell you straight out, I'm very, very interested. I don't move quickly. Let's go through the break. Have you got enough money to see through the Christmas break, which we did. But he was very, very generous through that period whenever we needed some help as well. But he said, let me go away for a couple of weeks and let's chat when we get back. Once he's got back, he came to me and said, I don't want to buy your business. And I'm like, okay. He said, instead, what I want to do is you've got a special skill, Benny, in being able to build sales teams and build sales culture. I've got a direct sales team I don't think's ever been run brilliantly. Why don't we merge our two businesses together and form one great big one, of which you can be the managing director of? You bring my sales team into your sales team. We merge our product sets and we become one great big amazing business moving forward. So I kept hustling, mate. I kept looking for ideas. And the one thing I would say to just about anybody in this space is if you back yourself, just keep looking. You never know when something might turn. And that phone call I had with you in my backyard, like I was ready to turn. I was ready to turn out the lights. I was just a bit broken at the time. But I was probably broken because I was concentrating on the things I couldn't control.
And Ben, you know, I can't thank you enough for what you've just shared, because I think there's a lot of business owners out there at the moment that are sitting back going, where do we go? What's going to happen? And I do believe, you know, what you've just shared, a lot of business owners will resonate with that, and then amalgamating or creating some sort of merger or partnership to survive once we get through this drastic situation of this COVID-19. I think there'll be a lot of people out there that will sit back and go, well, okay, we're actually forced to change our business model. And for me, I think, you know, it is about rethinking your strategy. So, you know, the big thing that I'm working on right now and helping customers, you know, who are contacting us is, okay, let's rethink your strategy. And what I mean by rethinking is not making drastic decisions. Let's just think about it, you know, and then work out a way. And I like, you know, to hustle, work out a way to stay in business and hustle your way through. So so at the moment right now with this, you know, coronavirus that's on, you know, how is your business coping? So how many employees and how is your business coping right now with the situation that we're in?
So I've gone from having 5 in my sales team to now I'm up to 10 as we've merged our two teams together.
Yep.
One of the great things that comes with the merge of the business is Drew has a substantial customer base. So the first thing we do is we knuckle down into our existing customers and just make sure they're all okay.
Yep.
Because we're in the world of IT, we're helping people set up remotely. And it's been amazing. Last week, we run off our feet. Our greatest challenge right now is finding stock for the amount of supply that we've got going. But collectively, I think we've got 10 heads. You put everyone in a room, you sit down and you go, guys, how can we make the most of this situation? Because I think the days of being a leader, having to come up with all the answers are well and truly gone. Why do we think that I collectively, Ben, has better answers than any of my staff? I don't think I do. I think that we should all consult. No idea is a bad idea. Just because your idea may not get legs doesn't mean it was a bad one. But if we all share 100 and we pull out 5, those 5 might be key to us being viable for the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it happens to be. So collectively, you've got to call upon your people, or doing what I did by merging. I've brought a whole lot of skills in so that I can now concentrate on the bit I love, which is sales and sales leadership. And the business running part, I'm so over it at this point after 10 years of battling it on my own or with my beautiful wife, that we're excited to do what we really enjoy. And Drew really enjoys running the business side of things. Spot on. We all get to do what we enjoy and do it really well versus trying to do stuff that we don't necessarily enjoy.
So if I was a business owner looking at this interview that I'm doing right now, what would be one tip that you would give them, as you know, as part of survival? What would be one tip that you'd give them right now?
If I look at my last 12 months, if I look at my last 18 months, I think the most important thing was that you concentrate on the things that you can control. It's really easy to look backwards and look at some of the things that have gone wrong and get caught in a spiral. And not without even knowing it, you've lost a week, you've lost 2 weeks, and it's unproductive time. And I think probably that's been my greatest effect through this. And when I have been getting lost, I've had great people like yourself around me to be able to pull me back. But just don't get lost on things that are done, dusted. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And dwelling in that space is just ultra frustrating. It's a horrible way to live. You've got to look forward. You've got to look forward with a level of positivity. And if you find you get to a point where you can no longer look forward, well, then you know, where you sit. But to me, I'm always thinking about there's got to be a way to navigate. Exactly what you said. We're hustlers. And until there is no longer any opportunity for some light, you've got to keep looking for where that light is and follow it.
Yep. Mate, this has been absolutely fantastic. Just like every interview that I've done, every client, we've got a variety of clients that are on this Survive and Thrive campaign. Everyone's got something to offer. So, mate, I can't thank you enough. Now it's time to give you a plug. If I'm in trouble and I need your help and need your services from your business centre, what's the best way to contact you?
Our number is 9899 4000 for our main office, but I'm happy for anyone that views the clip today to just ring me directly. My number 0450 618 000. As I said, I love being at the front of the floor with my team. I still have a number of clients and I'd love to be involved. So ring me personally. We're helping a lot of people set up with their remote office environments and just think about how do I make the most out of my remote office environment. We're running it. This morning I had a meeting with 30 people from all over the country and it was smooth as silk. So if you're thinking about how do I use tech to help me navigate these waters right now, give me a ring. I'd love to chat about it. This is what we do on a daily basis.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for being part of this Survive and Thrive campaign. Your details will be up at the end of this interview for people to contact you. Thanks, Ben. Good on you and all the best to you and Cass.
Thanks, Colin. Thanks, everybody.